Hi, I'm Matt Collins. I'd like to welcome you to Bob Weber Auto Mart on Douglas Avenue here in Racine, across from Douglas Park. We specialize in 1-year-old, low mileage, almost new cars. And if you'd like to stop by and see them, or see them on our website, bobweberautomart.com, we could save you between $5,000 and $10,000 on your next almost new car purchase.
Welcome into another edition of Sports Junkies. Time to talk about the number one team in all the country. On my tank rank, they are the Milwaukee Bucks, the worst basketball team in the NBA, and I couldn't be happier. Steve Sparky, Fifer of Sports Radio 1250 WSSP. He, of course, is Gery Woelfel of the Racine Journal-Times. Thanks for tuning in here at RacineSportsZone.com.
I'm speechless, and that's not easy.
Good. Now,
I don't even know how to respond to that.
First question on the table
You
is...
come out firing in the Packer Junkies.
Yeah.
Now you come out firing on the Bucks Junkies.
It's all the NyQuil.
I will say that. You play a full game.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's talk about the Milwaukee Bucks basketball team. Last night on the Pick and Save Basketball postgame show, you made my night. You made maybe the next couple of months of my life. And when I asked you, okay, are the Bucks going to do anything significant here in the next couple of weeks?
I'm going to preface this by saying you never, ever say never, okay? I'm really becoming guarded what I say on these shows now.
Yeah. No Aaron Rodgers talk in this video. You're fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, now I'm going to refrain from that. See how I'm holding back? I'm a new...
So are they going to make any moves?
Never, ever say never. But anyways, the odds of them making a major move are probably like 90-10, okay? I talked to a couple sources in the Bucks organization, and they said they have had trade discussions, but nothing imminent, nothing prominent. So
what is
going forward, I think they want to see what this young group can do.
Let's talk about the sources of yours, okay? Are these sources saying...
It's Bango.
Okay, I like Bango. Are these sources telling you that...
No, it's Nick Monroe. Let's get that on record. He's my primary source in the Bucks organization. You know him? Okay.
Let's talk about
now you're
this Bucks team. Yeah. Let's talk about this Bucks team. These sources are they saying they're looking to improve the team, or are they looking to add assets for the future?
Combination.
Those are two different things. Because Omar Ashik is for now. Paul Gasol now. Zach Randolph now.
See,
if I'm trading for picks, that's future assets.
Right.
So which way are we looking to go?
I agree with Randolph being now. I agree with Gasol being now. I don't agree with Ashik being now.
You're going to have to. I'll tell you why. Because you get him for a year and a half. He's at about $14.5–15 million next year. Yeah. Now you then have to re-sign him if you think he's part of the future.
Exactly.
He's making $15 million. He's not worth that much money.
Yeah, the only problem is if the Bucks would do this, and they're not. Okay. At one time, I thought they would have legitimate interest in him. And I talked to a bunch of NBA people, and they all said the same thing. They all thought it would be a great trade for the Bucks, bringing him in, because they would have an anchor center for the next 6-7 years. You're not going to find one in the draft. Certainly, if you're that good,
Joel Embiid is coming now. We'll see what he turns out to be.
Yeah,
I like Ashik though. He's all right.
Yeah, no, Ashik's a good player, and that's why a bunch of teams want him. But if you bring him on board, like you said, and you pay him minimum $14 million, he's going to want at least that or more going forward. What are you going to give John Henson when his contract up? Henson, I'm telling you, this kid has a chance to be a star. He's gotten better and better every game. His confidence has grown immeasurably. He gets the ball in the low post. Last night, he attacked Tyson Chandler, who in my opinion is the best defensive center in the NBA. And he went to the basket hard on him like 3 or 4 times, drew a foul. This guy is rising. There isn't any doubt in my mind he's got a chance to be a really, really good player. And furthermore, I think he could become the face of the franchise, which this team has been looking for a long time. Somebody that can just be a high elite level player.
Don't you think Giannis has more upside than Henson?
I think they both do. I think they both do. It was interesting in the post-game show. We didn't have time to talk about it on WSSP last night. I thought there was one startling revelation by Larry Drew. What do you think that was? Did you listen to the whole?
Yeah, we played it all on the postgame show.
He goes, we've been trying to figure this out for some time where Giannis would play, and he said we think he's now a point forward. Basically, he said he's a point forward going forward. He's going to be Paul Pressey was to the Bucks back, in the 80s, where he's on the point, he'll lead the attack, and you know what? Makes all the sense in the world. Brandon Knight can play off the ball. You got Mayo playing off the ball. I'm not saying he's a true point guard. I'm saying in situations he's a point because he's got a good handle. He's a good passer, and he's going to be a matchup nightmare out on the perimeter for somebody. So, but I thought that was just a startling revelation that this is what they wanted to be going forward.
It's a horrible idea.
No, it's
I can't emphasize it enough.
Why? Why is it horrible?
Because when you talk about Giannis, just because you can dribble the basketball from one side of the floor to the other and bring it past half court does not make you a point guard.
No.
Just because you can bring it up. I understand. He leads a fast break on the one transition, right?
Right.
He gets the board, he goes all the way down, makes a nice dish to Middleton, boom, scores.
Yeah.
That does not mean all of a sudden now you're Scottie Pippen and you're going to be a point.
You know what, Steve? In the days leading up to the draft, I saw film footage of him from like 4 or 5 games. He does that. That is the one comparison I will make with him and Magic Johnson. When he gets the ball off the board, he can bring it up the court like Magic used to do. Magic did that all the time and get him in. Does he have Magic Johnson passing skills? Not at all. Not at all. Does he have Magic Johnson's floor vision? Not at all. But he can do that. He can get the ball off the floor and he can break it up the court. And if your big guy can run like that and direct your attack, you got something special.
Sure. On the transition, fine.
Yeah.
I don't want him pounding the ball at the top of the key in a half-court offense.
No,
I do not want that.
But when Pressey played, he wasn't always out there all the time. Moncrief would be out there sometimes. Okay, Ricky Pierce would be. It depends on. You're not a true point guard. You're just another point. Kind of like Dwayne Wade was for a lot of his career.
Sure.
He was out. I mean, Dwayne Wade was like a shooting guard playing out on the point. Giannis will be out on the point. Now, but the problem is with that, you'll have to go through a whole new training camp to do this, to get him acclimated. I mean, right now he's a small forward, but I thought that was very interesting in how they project him.
Okay, so you talk about Giannis and where he's going. Grantland had an article the other day. I forgot who the guy was.
Grantland Rice?
No, not Grantland Rice. I don't know. But it was a writer, and they quoted a guy who trains NBA players. It's not Tim Grover, a different guy, down in Florida, I want to say. And he made the comparison of Giannis. He said he's a combination of Nicholas Batum, Paul George, and Kevin Durant. That's what he said.
Okay.
That's where he sees the upside. Now, I'm telling you right now, I got giddy excited. I mean, I was laughing and giggling like a little boy at Christmas opening up his presents, right?
Yeah.
Nah, that's where I was. I know he's not going to be all that. I get that.
Yeah.
But if he ends up being a star, if he fulfills potential, okay?
Right.
And then you go get me a Wiggins to play next to him? Oh, baby. Wiggins, Giannis, and Henson? All right. Now we can start talking championships. Now we can start talking about, all right, now we're legitimate. That's the other thing. Cole comes out as his press conference with select individuals, because I didn't know about it. You know about it?
I didn't know about it, but that's his prerogative too.
Select individuals, right?
Yeah.
It says, well, I'm bringing on partnership and talking about a new arena. Mm-hmm. You want to get public money? You go get Giannis for another year next year. He starts. Let him have a good March. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let him go out in March and average like 20 and 8 or something.
He's not going to do that, I'll tell you that.
Hold on.
Yeah.
But wait a second now. You got to remember. In March, what happens? A lot of these teams that are bad, like the Bucks, they're not playing as hard. Season's winding down. Right. You can get easy numbers. So let's just say he blows up in March.
But those aren't easy numbers.
No, they're not.
20 points for a 19-year-old are crazy.
Because you got to figure by that point, a lot of these veterans are going to be gone.
Renard
will probably be traded. I would assume if Butler's healthy, he's gone. So a lot of the veterans you have should be gone for picks because you're not in it.
But what are they going to get? Second-round picks?
Cash.
Well, why?
Just give me Luke Renard to the Lakers for cash. Here you go.
Yeah.
Butler to wherever for whatever. Go. Because Butler's on a one-year deal anyhow.
Correct.
If Butler was on a 3-year deal, okay, that's different. Then
I got a feeling they're going to keep Karan around.
He could be a mentor to these younger players.
Absolutely.
And I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But if I can get something, either way.
Yeah.
But if you can go into the offseason with Giannis going good and fans excited, then you go get a guy that everybody watches the NCAA tournament go crazy, a Wiggins, a Parker, whoever, to go with him. You watch the momentum and the energy level around this franchise going into next year.
Oh, no doubt.
And then you let them play another year. So now Henson's a year older, Giannis is a year older, and you have this exciting freshman. Now you go after next season and go, okay, we want to do this arena. We've got three essential stars on our roster right now. We got a chance to be a champion. We just need something to put us over the top. Now I think the chances of getting public money are way higher than they are currently.
Yeah, you know what's going to be in going forward? I've said that way too often lately, going forward. I don't know why. But anyways, you look at Larry Sanders, to me, he's going to be an integral part of what the Bucks do going forward. If they can rehabilitate his reputation, because right now it's at an all-time low around the NBA. A lot of teams will not touch him. There'll always be one or two that will. But they somehow have to get him back on the floor, playing at a high level, and then trade him.
Right.
And then if they trade him, you know, the old saying is, hey, don't trade a big for a small. I trade him and try to get a shooting guard, point guard, you know, that's really good and add it to the mix. Because like you said, if you got Henson, the Greek freak, in probably a wing. They're probably going to bring a small forward, I would imagine, or a shooting guard.
Well, I mean, look at it this way. This is.
I mean, again, it depends on the draft.
Right.
But.
Dream case scenario.
Yeah.
Okay. Dream case scenario. Whoever your point guard is, if you want to say it's Brandon Knight for now, fine. Knight. Your two guard then is Wiggins. If they get Wiggins. So your 3 is Giannis. Your 4 is Henson, and then your 5 is Sanders. That's kind of the dream case scenario if that's how it all plays out.
Yeah.
Now, if you get a Jabari Parker has to play the 3. He's not fast enough to play the 2.
Well, see, that's where Larry Drew's vision comes in,
Right.
of Giannis being a point forward.
Right, but then Giannis can play that shooting guard position.
Right.
And you can still make it work.
And Wiggins,
he's quick enough to still
and Wiggins and Parker both can play shooting guard.
Right.
In the NBA,
Parker,
you know what?
Parker's got a lot of some bulk on him.
It always used to be a point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center, the 5 spots, right? A lot of teams now have thrown that philosophy out and say, hey, we got a point guard and wings. You know, the wings are your small forward and shooting guards, and they're basically interchangeable. So,
do you think that the Bucks can be the worst team in the NBA at the end of the year? Right now they have
they could.
Right now they have a 2-game advantage right now over the next closest teams.
I talked to a player probably about 2 weeks ago. This is the Ascot story. He said he met with executives from a team that's pretty bad, right? They flat out told him that we do not have any intentions of winning this year. They flat out told him. And I'm not referring to the Bucks. It wasn't the Bucks, okay? But I'm like, I'll tell you what, if I was a veteran, I'd be appalled at that and say, hey, get me out of here then. Just ship me out of here if you don't want to win. I can understand management's point. Yeah, well, absolutely.
I'm going to get paid. I don't care if we're winning.
Yeah, so I mean, at least I give this organization, you know, brownie points for being candid. But I would never tell anybody about that, you know?
But whoever it is, it's not working because the Bucks are beating them. So,
well, and I guarantee you by the end of the year, this team will be one of the top. Just trust me, they will be there.
Will the Bucks be one of the 3 worst teams in the NBA at the end of the year?
I'll say no.
They won't be.
No. I know. But that doesn't mean they cannot have a great selection. I know. I mean, to me, there's 2 guys. Everybody says 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. I say there's 2. There's Wiggins and Parker. I mean, to me, they got superstar written all over them, both of them.
Yep.
The other guys, there's question marks.
He is Gery Woelfel. I'm Steve Sparky Fifer. I was in a good mood until just now. Enjoy the rest of your day here at RacineSportsZone.com.
But the Bucks aren't making any major trades, so you should be happy.
Well, if they can maintain being the worst team in the league, that means the worst you can be is 4.
Right.
So with all the worst luck in the world, all you can be is 4. That still gives you a top-flight player, no matter what. Now, It may not be Wiggins or Parker, but top-flight player.
Sure.
And your odds of being in the top 3 go up significantly if you're 1.
Right.
So that's where you need to be.
We'll see. Plenty of time.
All right, thanks for tuning in another edition of Sports Junkies here at RacineSportsZone.com. Bye-bye.